Hotep Sinuhena Senut E.T. Ren E. Shakandabu Kemet. How is it going? The sound is loud and clear. That's beautiful. Welcome. I must make some correction regarding yesterday's live stream. Nobody's perfect. Let me share the screen straight away. It's a good thing that I went over yesterday's live stream because, okay, let me put the pen first. Now, these three glyphs, those three glyphs, are read from right to left. It spells, well, it spells help. We will see if this is actually the one there. That's the actual original artifact, which is made of wood. Now, the glyph in the middle got in the reference T28. I did say the butcher's knife when it's really the butcher's block. Okay, that's the first thing. So, right here is an excerpt from Obzormer's book, page 245. And if you look at garden reference W5, you have a combination of two glyphs, which is the glyph W3 here. And this one here, we can tell that the phonetic value is Heb, and Heb is the word for festival. And besides, that glyph is used as a determinative for alabaster, which is Ches, and also festival. Sorry. So you have Wag, but Heb also stands for festival. As a matter of fact, the following one, W4, we have an alabaster basin, so it's still that one. And we have the sign O22 is just above it. And this is an ideogram for Heb, which means festival. And it's a determinative for festival. Now, there are several festivals, by the way, So here we are told Wag and said. Finally, we have the butcher's block on top of this alabaster basin. Okay. But this stands for Sherheb or Sherihebet, which stands for lector priest or ritualist. Okay. So I was wondering if maybe what we see between the wick and the leg was not that glyph here. All right. So maybe that's the glyph that we see. So I want you to leave it. Oh, finally. Okay, it doesn't matter at the bottom because we have the definitions here. And the other mistake I made at minute 1:12:50, I showed some glyph and I said this is Atum, as me and the brother Bly were going through the glyphs. Now, still on Obzormer's book, we have on page 293. First, the word for sledge, because underneath the loaf of bread, it is a sledge. Now, there was probably not any snow in Kemet, so they might have used it for other purposes than what we call skiing, probably to transport some material. And we have term for negation or negative verb, not plus negative verb. We have term which means to cease to perish. And we have term that means to be complete. And finally, we have tem or temu, which is the nTr or the deity Atum. Others will call him Itemu or Yetemu if they want to pronounce the E like the Yod. So it will be safer to say that when we have the loaf of bread and the sledge, in addition with the seated man with the beard, the ideogram for a deity, then it will be atum. But I just saw the loaf of bread and the sledge, and straight away I said atum. So if somebody happens to take the excerpt where I said that it was atum, I have to take that L. So that being said, we can resume from where we left off yesterday, going through those artifacts from the Louvre Museum. I'm gonna have to unshare this. First of all, let me do this. Well, it won't change anything, will it? Let's see. No, it doesn't change anything. Okay. So if there are some brothers or sisters who have started learning the Medu nTr, then feel free to get on the panel, you know, and we can review some of the vocabulary that you know that you can recognize. It's a great exercise. Okay. Now, others who don't want to get on the panel or who don't feel like participating in the chat, then it's worthy also to have a look and see what glyphs you manage to recognize. Now, it's a bit blurry, isn't it? How does it show there? Okay, well, it's okay. It's not too bad. So we have Kher, Hem, then we have En Ankmesut, Nebti, Ankmesut, Nesut Biti. Amazingly, I will read that Ka Keper Ra, when really we are used to the name Keper Kara, Sa Ra, Senuseret, that the Greeks called Sesostris, Ankh Mira, we have a case of honorific inversion here. Then we have Jet. The next one I cannot tell. Probably, yeah, Ma'a. It is Ma'a N set F. Either Heset F. I cannot tell the rest. But here we have Raneb. And you know what? I will look for some artifacts where it is less blurry because it's going to be a bit difficult. But here you can see how the color has faded over time. Now this artifact is belonging to someone called Medu, who was a chancellor, and it's during the reign of Sesostris around 1900 BC, and it was found in Abydos. So you have name, dates, and places. This is 3,900 years old. All right, I did a close-up. I took those pictures so long ago, so oh, nice one, another nice one. Now, here we can distinguish the glyphs clearly. The color around the body has almost completely faded away, but around the face is kind of still there. Here we can even see the color of the vegetables. Now, as for the glyphs, we have Hotep Dinesu, Usir, Neb probably Imenet, Necher A, Neb Abju, Peret Cheru, Ha, Ka, Aped, Chet, Nebet, Neferet, Wabet, En Imak, Rech, Inpu, Tebju F. Is it Bit Kemet? I know that we have Kemet. I will have a look actually because Every time I skip that one. This one I don't need anymore, so I can close. I will open. Okay, the other one is there. So, it's not bit Kemet, it's Kemeti BT. Okay, so Kemeti BT, Semerwatia. We have the name here, Senuseret. I'm skipping that part. This is the T. I think this is the phonetic value hen or henu, but it escapes me. So then we have Senuseret, Ma'acheru. I don't know what that spells here. Then we have in M Newt, Iyah, or is it Newty? Because I know the word ha with that determinative. Mereret, Heset, Necheru. Now here we do have Inek. And the funny thing is that with what I've quoted earlier with that video, when I went through Gardner's Egyptian grammar, it does actually make the comparison between Inek and Anoki in Hebrew. You see, so the video that I made a few weeks ago or a few months ago wasn't a discovery, but I just happened to come across it. But a lot of people have outlighted, no, highlighted the similarities with different words. And Gardner, for example, he knew the Hebrew, he knew the Arabic. I don't know if he knew the Coptic. Um, he probably knew German because he studied on the German, so he was familiar with quite a fair bit of languages. He's actually described as a linguist as well on Wikipedia. So this one is called Senusret, and he's the chief of the treasury. But that's the same one. It's just seen from the top. That's all. It's the same artifact here. Uh, this one looks similar than the one we've seen earlier, but it's obviously not the same. See that the bottom part, the scene looks similar. So here we have some color left on the body. There we just have that part really and a little bit around the shoulders, and then it's almost completely gone around the body. On the ladies' dresses, we can clearly see the green. And look at the lips of this lady here. Now, we have Hotel Dinesu Sir Neb Jedu, Necher A, Neb Abju, DF, Peret Cheru, Ka Aped, Chet Nebet Neferet, Wabet, Ankt Necher Im, NKN, Imach, M. Then we have Ra. I cannot tell what that animal is here. We have the vase, the te, and the pair determinative. Is it the goose or the duck? If I was to guess, I would say it's the goose. Then we have Her, we have T. I wonder what that word is because this is the second time I see it in a row. When you have the cobra and the hand. Then we have Ankh. We have the three strokes, but we have the determinative of seated man, so I'm puzzled here. Then we have Tep, and it looks like Ta. Then we have Suwa, or Suwat, S. Now, here we have Nebet per Ankh S. And here we have Semsu, Sa. I don't know what this is. So the name is probably Hiri, but in the description we'll probably not have all the names. Here we have Kit. We have Senet F Kit. Here we have Sen F Imeni. So in English usually is spelled Ameni. Then we have Senet F. Okay. I don't know if it's the goose or the duck. Here we have um, okay. Well, we have Senet F, but then we have the duck again with the t at the end, or in the duck or the goose, one of the two. Here we have Sen F Het. And here we have Sen F Nechet. Okay. So we will not read every single glyph, but we went through a fair bit. Okay. Now let's see what the description says. Sacherti, chief of the treasury. Can we see his name? Oh, but it's here. You see. So the Semsu probably goes along with the Senate F. So Kit is probably the Semsu. And then we have Sa T Heri. And what did the description say? No, Sa Herti. So I did not read it the right way. Sa Herti. That's the way to read it. This way, then this way. Now, as for the date, around 1900 BC, 3,900 years old. Okay, I will probably skip. These are quite atypical at the top, as if he was a different scribe. I mean, look at this here. However, the basket here, I don't recall seeing that kind of design unless I saw the coloring. But I will look for another one where we can see clearer. So it is someone called Imeni Seneb. Those who have studied the Medu nature a little bit probably can dissect this name. And he's the controller of the team of Abydos. I'm sorry, it's the controller of team, or team controller, if you will, of Abydos around 7050 BC during the reign of Khenjer, 13th dynasty. In front of him, we have the dog-headed god Upuaut. And this stela makes a pair with its neighbor C12 because this one is C11. Okay, so I did a close-up of that part here. And that's C12, the one that makes a pair. But we will not be able to read from this. That's a close-up. That's a different one. We will not be able to read either. Uh, it's blurry. It is the stela of the two brothers Sehetep Ib and Heka Tifi between 1963 and 1786 BC from Abydos. We won't be able to read from this one either, and this is mainly due to the glass, and we have the reflection of probably my shirt. Then sometimes it's the window behind, sometimes it might be some clothes, but we can see the red ochre here, just like we can see it at the top. Here initially was probably some blue or maybe some green, but I think it was some blue or maybe some other color. Now this one is the stela of Sa Sebek, probably Sa Sobek, and her husband Res. Same date, between 1900 and 1700. Now this one we should be able to read from. Um, I thought this was the papyrus roll, but it's large, so it might be the wa, but probably Renepet wa. I never seen the wa that big, so that's why I'm thinking maybe it's the papyrus roll. But anyway, Kher Hem of Nesudbiti, we have Ni Ma'atra, or most people read that En Ma'atra. Ankh Jet, Ir En, is it Nehe without the Sundays between the 2 week? I don't know. Here we have an F, that should be very easy. Now we have R. Now I forgot the phonetic value of this. If I was to guess, I would say red, RD, the biliteral. Then we have nTr R. Then it's Jed F. You know, it's funny how sometimes you forget some glyphs. There's probably something like, he said or something like this to that extent. To that extent. And we have Ankh ou Tep or Tepu, Soit or Soit. Jedet F H M T K appelle N K N. I forgot this one, but I have it in some of my vocabulary. We have the word for Asiatic. I have to double check. Let me check. This is something like Setetiu or Asiatic. Yes, it is Setetiu. I'm wondering if this is an alternative spelling of it. Sair and Heti Uret. Okay, that's fair enough. Now here, the color has remained. He's a stela of the scribe of auditions called Intef between 1900 and 1700 BC. We can read here, but I will look for a clearer artifact. Uh, so the other one was what? Oh, it's the same one. It's definitely not the same artifact, but I must have made a mistake with the picture for the description. I don't know what material this is. I would be surprised if this is limestone. From here, it's read from left to right, and from here, it's read from right to left. A typical offering formula. Too difficult to distinguish. It is made of limestone. Stela of the intendant, Goof, and the chancellor, Samres or Samres. Okay, that looks very nice. Another color is almost completely there. It's just around the arm there that something happened, but it looks probably something just went against it, because it doesn't look like natural fading over time. Okay, so what do we have here? Let me check this chat. One moment. Nothing in the chat. Dang, you're all shy today. So from here, we go to the right, and from here we go to the left. Hotel Dinesu input F, imiut, Nepta Jesser, DF, Heneket, Senecher, Merhet NKN, Hetheru, Sat Iret, N Neferet, Nebet, and then we have Imak, Ir NS, Sen S, Iu Imeni, Maaheru, Imaki, Imakit, Kher, Usir, Neb, Ankh. Now the two lines at the bottom, I don't know what it stands for. It might simply be Tawi, but I'm not sure because I don't know how this will be translated. Then we have Het Heru again, and then we have Sat, and at the bottom I don't really know. Then we have Imakit, Kher, Necher A, Neb, Abju, Het Heru, Sat, and then the bottom I cannot tell. So there we have Ima Ki Kher Pata. I don't know what this is. And we have the basket with the handle. Well, we have Senusret anyway. We have Senusret, then we have Ma'acheru, and then Neb something. Here and F, Sa F, Meri F. That one I cannot tell what it is. And then we have Imeni. So his son is called Imeni. Okay. So the lady Sat Hator and her father Senusret. And we did read Senusret, and then several times. Well, actually, I did not read it properly. I read Het Heru and then Sat, but it's actually Sat Het Heru. We have a case of honorific inversion or honorific transposition. The eyes appear red, or the pupil. What's the date? Well, same date, between 1900 and 1700 BC. Oh, well. I hope there's not too much sound. Let me check. Because I have the fan. One moment. Gotta do this. Okay, we can hear the fan, but it doesn't look like the noise is causing trouble with the mic. I don't know if I should go through this because you need to have a good eye to distinguish the glyphs. How does it look here? If I put, for the record, we'll go through a few. So here we have Usir spelled with a different spelling. We have the glyph of the seat or the throne, but not the one that we see most of the time, not the same one as Aset. So we have Hotep Dinesu, Usir, Khenet Imentiu. Here we have Neb Abju. I don't know what this is here. Let me go to the second line now. It looks like is it Hudnecher? Looks like Hudnecher F, Pata, Pata Seker. Okay, combination. Then we have the epithet of Usir, Unen Nefer, M. Now I don't know what this is. Then we have I don't know what this is here. Oh, okay. This is the same one as here. I presume it looks like it. So Sa Usir. Then it might be Pesejet. And then Imit, and then probably Abju. Probably the chisel, the heel, and then the leg. But this might be the crescent moon glyph, and then with the loaf of bread there. So this might spell Pesejet. Di sen peret cheru ka aped shes menechet chet nebet neferet wabet Hotep Jeffa'u. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it there. We read a fair bit. It's not very clear. So same date, and it's the stela of the inspector of scribes called Panettini. Oh, look at this here. Look at the dark brown coloring here. And around the legs here, you can see how it's fading away. I'm going to use this as a thumbnail. It's going to be better than my unconvincing smile on the current thumbnail. Let me do the change. I almost forgot that I was supposed to read an excerpt from Egyptian grammar. So let me just change the thumbnail first, and then I will go through the quote that I wanted to read. There. It hasn't changed yet, but it might take a few minutes to do so. You know what? Should I still read? Okay, I will still read it. I will still read it. So let me share that quote from Gardiner. So that Gardiner's Egyptian Grammar, third revised edition, and we are on page 428. Appendix A, the vocalization of Middle Egyptian. Now, I will not read the first paragraph. I will start from the second paragraph. Such knowledge as we have, let me see if it's large enough first. Yes, okay. Such knowledge as we have of the pronunciation of the older stages of Egyptian is based on the vocalized forms vouchsafed to us by Coptic, Greek, Assyrian, and Babylonian. Of these, Coptic is, of course, by far the most important, being actually the old Egyptian language in its latest stage of development and retaining Greek characters. The disadvantage of Coptic is, however, its remoteness in time from the stages of the language upon which it is required to shed light. It will be as little legitimate to transfer the Coptic pronunciation of such a word as, it looks like obet, goose, to the old Egyptian equivalent aped, as it will be to use modern English pronunciation as our authority for pronouncing Anglo-Saxon. The vowels and consonants of the older language have usually become modified in the lapse of time, so that the more recent equivalents can at best serve only as a basis for interference. A like objection applies to Greek and Assyrian transcriptions of Egyptian words. These transcriptions are, moreover, comparatively few in number and confined mainly to proper names. Of greater value are the fully vocalized transcriptions of Egyptian names and words which occur written in Babylonian cuneiform on the clay tablets known as the El Amarna letters, 14th century BC, and on those constituting the archives of the Hittite capital of Bogaz, Kiwi, 13th century. Good examples are Urusha, headdress, for Egyptian Ures. Then we have Kuiku, koyak vessels, i.e. vessels such as were used at the festival of the month of koyak. For Egyptian, ka her ka. Ana, Heliopolis, for Egyptian Yunu, and the most important, the main reason why I decided to quote that part, Nib Muaria, for Egyptian Neb Ma'at Ara, prenomen of Amenhotep III. It says Amenophis, but this is Amenhotep. Amenophis is a Greek way. You read the glyphs, it's Amenhotep or Amenhetep. Now, for those who have read James P. Allen's book, you have a part where we can see the name of Ramesses II rendered with some vocalization on some of this cuneiform writing. So for those who act like, well, we don't really have knowledge of the meta nature, we're not there where they came up with those symbols, blah, blah, blah. You have another example. It doesn't sound exactly the same, but that's how it goes with languages. What you call Alexander, in English, we call it Alexandre. See? And it's spelled exactly the same. So depending on the language, the pronunciation will change. So I can go back to the artifacts. Now here it says Senet F Senuseret. Senet F Senuseret. Those glyphs are well carved. Now first we have Intef. Net F Iker. Neb Irer. Now, I don't know if that's, we have the glyph nobody used for Imaku, but I don't know for sure here. We have Ir-En, Genet, and then I cannot tell, but we have the uniliteral sh, the animal's belly. We have a bird. I don't know if it's the sa. There, I cannot tell. It's damaged here. Then we have Hotepet. It looks like a seated person, maybe a lady, because it looks like we have the hair around the back. So it might be a lady called Hotepet. Iret N EP. Then we have the determinative of a seated person, and this time it appears to me that it's a man. So it looks like we have two given names, EP and Hotepet. This might be Maat Heru. Then we have Nebet and then something here. It looks the same as that glyph, by the way. Then we have Sen F Imeni, and then we have the determinative of a seated man. So this is a given name also, another name. In English, Ameni. Ir En Hotepet, and then once again, the determinative of the seated person, probably a lady. Then we have Senet F Sat Hator in English, or Sat Het Heru. Iret En Hotepet. That names appear a lot, so well, here we are basically have family members, so okay, I can continue. This might stand for N. Okay, I leave that part, you know. Then we have Senet F. Then we have Senet. I don't know what this is. This looks like the bovides leg, and it might be the phonetic complement, so it might be Uhem or Uhemet. And we have Ir N Hotepet again. Then Sen F Intef. Ir N. I mean, Ir means to make or to do. So it's basically saying such person's name that was begotten by such and such person. That's what it says all over here. You see? Uh, we have the name EP again. I don't know what that glyph is. Now, this might be happy, but this is typical. So I'll leave it here. And I'm curious to see what they say in the description. So the intendant Senuseret in front of his offering table around 1870 BC. And at the bottom it says his relatives are enumerated at the top towards the right. And that's what I went through. Oh, those leaves looks lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. Let me check the chat. I think you are shy today, brothers and sisters. So, see the detail. Well, it had some glyphs here, but it's damaged. Now at the top, those are pieces of bread. And I'm sure we don't have 7 if we count them. Looks like there are way too many to be 7. Because some people are trying to say that, you know, you have 7 and those are candles just like Kwanzaa. Some people will try everything. So, the suit. The suit air. Well, it looks like Nima Ara. I don't see the loaf of bread. I'm used to the name Nima Atara. Then we have Mary F. N Set Ib F. Ir Heset F. Raneb M. R. Per. I'm sorry. Imir Per, the intendant. Keper Kara. Neb Imak. Nebet Per. Hotepet. Maat Heru. Nebet Imak. So let's look at the description. Heperkara, who is an intendant, or imiper, as we say in Medu between 1970 and 1870. So more glyphs that look lovely. We have very fine details of the hair around the necklace, even the hand towards the hand on the torso. Fingers are a bit big, but you know. And here you can clearly see the fingers holding that lotus flower. Now, well, it looks like it's going to be a short one because I've been live streaming for 15 minutes. So if there's no participation, I guess after an hour, we'll call it a day. It's a shame though, you know, could have been, you know, interacting, but hey. So here we have Hotep Dines Usir, Peret Heru. Um, mm, mm. We have a word there that stands for season. And you might have the sun disk as a determinative. But the fact that we have the sedge here, I don't know. And it looks like it spells Merut, even though the loaf of bread is before the plow. But here at the bottom again, it looks like Merut, with the loaf of bread appearing before the um, the Quartic. And here again, Merut. So I don't know what this is, but it says Ha Shes, Ha Heneket, probably, Ha T, and then I don't know, but one of the two, or maybe the two. It's just a piece of bread. Okay, I'm curious to see what the discussion would say, but probably they will mention that someone is called Merut. Indeed, the Lady Merut in front of her offering table between 2000 and 1900 BC. Mm, uh, well, similar things I will pass. It's not the clearest Medu nature that we can see. Stella of the chief of the office of the Kep, and he's called Iuseneb. Never mind. Let's see if I could see it. There it is. Iuseneb. The Queen Uret. And it tells us that Uret means the great. Now, that's a French feminine, for basically masculine is without the E. Around 1800 BC. She is the wife of Sesostris II and the mother of Sesostris III. I think this is Sesostris when he was old. Yes. It says Sesostris III marked by the years. Around 1800 BC, and he was found in the temple of Medamud. But then we have Sesostris when he was younger. Juvenal Sesostris III, still 1800 BC, found in the temple of Medamud. Now here we have some very nice glyph, but as you can see, we have the reflection on the glass. I might have made some close-up though. We have Sesostris III offering bread to Muntu. Oh no, I didn't do any close-up. Well, maybe I did after. Hold on. This is the head of the king Sesostris or Sesostris. And his face. Now this one this one is a king of the Middle Kingdom. Um, Most likely Sesostris III. They tell us that Sesostris III have placed a lot of his statues in the temple of Medamud. This is the vizier Neferkara Imeru. It says Neferkare, but I like to say Neferkara. During the reign of Sobek-hotep IV, around 1725 BC, 13th dynasty, found in Karnak. The statue was offered by the king during religious ceremonies. This looks like it looks like the same one as earlier of Sesostris, but maybe someone else. It is the king Sebek-hotep IV, around 1725 BC. Well, okay, I thought I would have some close-up of this, but Now here we have Munchu, then we have Neb Waset. I forgot the order here. If it's DF Ankh Neb. And then we have Jed Neb, Was Neb, Seneb Neb, Mira Jet. Jed Medu, Ankh Neb, Was Neb. Jed Medu, DNE Ek, the E doesn't show. Behedet Neched Nefer, Neb Tawi. Hai Kaura, the Ankh, un F, Genet Kau, Anku, Anku Neb, I don't know. Jet. Then we have the Ankh, we have Sa, um, Sa, and then it's similar to the other one. It might be HF Ankh Neb, something like that. Then we have the Ankh, Jed, Was, Mira, Jet. And once again, the same name here, Hai Kaura. And once again, Behedet, Nechel Nefer, Neptawi, DNEN Ek. And it looks like it's the same way. I don't know what this here. This looks like hedge, so it's like hedget. This one I don't know. This one I cannot tell what it is. And phonetically here so far we have seker apparently. It looks like the heel, but I don't know about this though, so I don't know the combination. And here we have seneb neb, and then we have probably imaket ib. I don't know why it's on top of the neb, and then we have mira finally. And here neb chooses same thing. Neb was set with the determinative of the noun sepat, and that's it. So this one is very good to practice for new learners. Now, how long is it? How long is it now? Okay, 2 minutes left. So I guess that's good for today. See if somebody want to come. Somebody wants to come. Then after an hour, I'll cut it a day. So this might be the thumbnail for the next video. Looks beautiful. Yeah, it looks beautiful. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, then feel free. I don't mind waiting a minute or two. And then if it's like that, then it's like that. All those Kemetic people, man. Yeah, everywhere. Online. But when it comes to dealing with the Medu, it's gonna change though. It's changing slowly but surely. If you study the Medu lecture, feel free to come and say what's up. Don't be shy. You know, um, you have a good opportunity to practice and speak with some people who actually are studying it as well. So, don't be afraid if I'm asking you to try to read along with us and you don't have the right answer. Sometimes I don't have the right answers. There's nothing to be shy about. There's about 800 glyphs for the Middle Egyptian, and that's a lot. So the most important is that if you don't know a glyph, just say you don't know it, or not trying to create new grammar rules, like some people do. Otherwise, it's a matter of you just being familiar with the grammar and having enough vocabulary baggage, you know. And when we're dealing with original artifacts, primary is just a matter of being able to recognize, to distinguish the glyphs. So, I encourage you, if you are studying the Medu nature, keep going. If you can find people who are either have knowledge of it or who are learning just like yourself, then try to communicate it. It will be good. It will spark your interest. It will encourage you to continue. It will allow you to discover new things, new words, new rules, eventually artifacts, books. It's very good. Unfortunately, we don't have so many people interested in that. Our people seem to be more interested in fictional stories and fairy tales. And we have people, with a great technique, which is to push us years back and dealing with their theology as if it was history. It's been like that, and it will continue to be like that. But slowly and surely, some of our people understand more and more the basics of history in terms of attestation, therefore in terms of record or archaeology, you see. But a lot of people don't know that. They do wordplay and linguistic acrobatics and linguistic gymnastics. So it's been like that for a long time. It might remain the same when we pass on, but it doesn't need that we have to uh, be fooled in the technology. You understand? So thank you for being there. Stay safe, stay healthy. And if I'm allowed to, Badu Necheru, I will definitely holler back at you. Hotel. Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Maat before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more. I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge. No question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Maat Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Maat. Don't forget to share Kemet and Maat on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/maatforever.